My name's Jill Hafley, and I am a professional dog trainer and a dog behavior expert. I've been doing this for about 25 years.
Oh, and how did you first become interested?
It's very funny, actually. I started accumulating dogs when I was younger, and I wanted to train and do it right. So I contacted a local kennel, and I went through one of their classes, and they knew that I was a teacher, and I had a natural affinity with dogs, and so they asked me to start filling in, teaching the class, and that led me into being hired by them to be a regular trainer on board. And then one of the trainers there said to one of their clients, we don't care why dogs do what they do, we just want to fix it. And I thought, well, how can you fix it if you don't know why it is they're doing what they're doing? So I decided I wasn't going to stay there and pay them 25%, and I went on my own and went to school for it, and here I am 25 years later. You know, I did a lot of apprenticeships first. So I worked under obedience trainers and conformation trainers. I worked under a canine cop and then studied under a behaviorist. Some people go through college where they can pay, $10,000 or more to fill out some forms and take some tests online, and I always found that it was better to be hands-on. So I got my experience through people that went through these positions already before me. Well, you have to be outgoing, you have to be friendly, and you have to be able to tell people that most of their dogs' problems come from them. So 90% of problems with dogs is human caused. And you have to be okay in telling somebody that, but you have to do so in a way that doesn't hurt their feelings. But outgoing is really the good personality trait. It really depends. If you're on your own, you can make more money because you're not paying in as an independent contractor to a kennel or even at a shelter that you're working at. Sometimes people can make upwards of $60 an hour, $100 an hour. It just really depends on if you're staying in town or if you're driving up to Denver or going out of town in order to help people. The farther you travel, the more money that you'll make. So each appointment is an hour long, typically. Sometimes a little bit longer, it depends on the dog. And I go to people's homes because you have to fix the behavior where it exhibits itself. If I'm going to teach a class, then I teach it outside because I like to do it where there are good distractions. It has to be more real world. So I do them at a local park. And those classes run an hour and for 6 weeks. And so I'm traveling all over the place. I have a home office, but other than that, I go to people to help them at where they're at. So I'll drive over there. I usually take one of my dogs with me. So if I have an appointment with a male dog, I'll take one of my females. And if I have an appointment with a female dog, I'll take one of my males. And they have to be balanced. You can't take an overexcitable dog into an appointment with a dog that's having trouble. So you have to have one that doesn't mind other dogs, that doesn't care about the people around them. They're just there to basically do a job, and they do it well. So just a balanced dog I take with me, if it's necessary, which it usually is, because dogs don't have any idea what it means to be human. They have to see another dog in order to know what a normal dog behavior is. So I go to somebody's house, I hear what their problem is, I see their family dynamic at work, and I can tell then why their dog is behaving in the manner that they're behaving. And then we recreate the problem. And then we correct it, and I explain all the whys. This is why your dog is doing this. This is how your behavior is affecting your dog, and this is how we're going to fix it. And so I fix it, and then I have them get involved, and they correct the behavior. And then I give them about 2 weeks to work on that plan. So I provide them, this is what you need to do. And then over those next 2 weeks, good things happen. And if not, then they can contact me and we go back to fixing then the next problem that's come up as a result of the first one being fixed. It typically doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. It just really depends on the dog. More aggressive dogs have been a challenge. I had one a couple weeks ago where the dog itself tried to pin me against a wall, and that wasn't good. That can be frightening. It really depends on your backbone. And so there are tools that I can take with me. You never have to hurt a dog to get them to do what it is you want them to do. Sometimes the use of plain vinegar will help. Just the smell of vinegar will keep an aggressive dog away from me. So those are things to always have handy. Aggressive dogs are difficult. Dogs that don't stop barking can be really difficult for people. Not for me, but for people themselves, and trying to get their dog to, again, do what it is that they want them to do. A lot of times what dogs do are a result of abdication of leadership by people. So if people don't step in and provide leadership for their dog, the dog has to fill that spot, and it's an uncomfortable spot for them. So that's a difficult thing for me to do, is tell people, you're too squishy with your dog. It's a technical term, is what I tell them. Oh, absolutely. I'll take my grandkids with me on some appointments where the dogs are afraid of kids, and they typically warm right up to them. Because I work for myself, I can set my hours, so it doesn't take. It won't go into family time, so I'll make appointments any time of the day except for when I already have a family commitment, and on Sundays. I don't work on Sundays. I love working with dogs, and to see the light bulb go off both for them and their human companion is a huge bonus for me, because when I go in and I see, let's say a dog is charging the front door when a doorbell goes off and people don't know how to get their dog back, I can typically fix that within seconds. And to see their eyes get wide, oh my gosh. I've had people actually tell me they want me to move in with them so that I can stay and fix their dog's problems for them all the time. So while that's, kind of funny and laughable, at the same time, it feels pretty good to be able to help people and see the dog and the human relationship turn around so that everything's good now. That's the best part of it for me. There's a lot of argument, and there's a lot of different methodologies out there. You really have to find one that fits your personality and how you believe, your values. But there's a lot of argument about positive versus negative reinforcement, punishment. And again, I don't believe that you have to harm a dog to get them to do what it is you want them to do. At the same time, I'm not a trainer that uses food 100% of the time, because then a dog will only do what I want him to do for food, and then I'll have an 800-pound dog, and I don't want to do that. So there has to be a good balance between letting a dog know, hey, don't go over there if it's hot. Don't touch that if it's hot. At the same time, I don't necessarily need to pull them away with a treat. They need to do so just because I've asked them to do so. Go for it. It's a great way to live. It's so much fun to work with dogs. Outside of other things that people could do for a career, you get to wear what you want, you get to make your own hours, you get to work with dogs and secondary people, which is also fun as well, and get paid to do it. There's no better thing to do than working with dogs.